Introducing first from Orlando, Florida, Brittany!
Florida's finest, making her way to the ring. We're talking about Brittany, TNA knockout here on this Xplosion exclusive matchup. It's JP here before Ash, along with the Professor Mike Tenay. And Mike, I love this Xplosion exclusive matchup, especially when it involves TNA knockouts.
No question, always great to have the knockouts on Xplosion. And when you have the history, the backstory involving the two knockouts that are going to do battle here this week, oh, you know it's going to be very intriguing. We'll touch on that history after the introduction of Brittany's opponent.
And her opponent from Seattle, Washington, Madison Rayne.
Here she comes, Madison Rayne, on her way to the ring. In this Xplosion exclusive knockout action, certainly Madison Rayne, multi-time knockouts champion. And you know what's interesting about these two? Well, a number of things very interesting about Brittany and Madison. Brittany never before has been the knockouts champion. Madison Rayne been to the mountaintop a few times and certainly looking to get back on top of that mountain. Certainly what we've seen with Angelina Love and the Rayne since becoming knockouts champion is left a void in the life of Madison Rayne. Wants to regain that knockouts championship in the worst way, Mike.
And a huge experience edge in this matchup for Madison Rayne. We talked about the history between these two, and you mentioned Angelina Love, the six-time knockouts champion. You'll recall recently on Impact Wrestling, we saw Madison Rayne square off against Angelina Love. And Madison went out of her way to tell Brittany not to get involved. But when Brittany came out for the match and stood at ringside, and then when Velvet Sky interfered and cost Madison the match, Brittany did absolutely nothing. Exactly what Madison told her to do, and that has led to definitely some disagreements between these two.
Well, you know, certainly they're not, I would say they're compatible on a lot of levels. Would you say Madison Rayne and Brittany, would you say they're compatible?
I wouldn't think so, and especially in light of the history that we saw prior to this matchup, what looked to be some mutual respect between the two. Let's see how long that lasts.
Certainly we saw what Brittany was thinking, at least, when Madison Rayne came to the ring, showing some applause, some appreciation. And you know, this is a classic case of a I would say, veteran of the knockouts division in Madison Rayne, taking on a relative newcomer in Brittany. And you know, one thing when you're a newcomer, when you're new on the scene, you want to make an impression, and you want to make a big impression. You want to make a good impression, but you want to make an impression, most of all, most importantly. And certainly in a very short time, Brittany has done that in the knockouts division. She has made an impression, certainly across the board, and in a big way, very quickly.
Yeah, but nothing would make a bigger impression for Brittany than getting a win over somebody like Madison Rayne, who has, you know, the incredible credentials, as you mentioned, the multi-time knockout champion.
You know, and one thing about Madison Rayne, I think gets overlooked a lot of times, just keeps getting better and better in the ring. She shows no signs of slowing down in terms of learning, improvement, honing her craft in the ring, and that's certainly what has led her to multiple 6 knockouts championship title reigns. Wow, we're seeing a lot of arm drags between these two. Kind of a feeling out process at the beginning of the matchup. We're going to see how this all pans out when we come back. TNA Knockouts Xplosion exclusive action returns when we come back. We are back. It's Xplosion exclusive action. The TNA Knockouts in the ring. It's Brittany taking on Madison Rayne. JP along with the Professor Mike today at ringside. And what we saw was going to be a clean break from Madison Rayne. Ended up being a kick by Brittany. And now I think we're going to start to see that competitive nature in these ladies start to shine through, Mike.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question, JB, throughout the commercial break and prior to that, definitely a scientific wrestling match between the two. And now all of a sudden, oh my. Wow, that elbow that time was right on the money, and then the follow-up clothesline by Brittany, and she just snapped just like that.
So it's like an aggressive side of Brittany comes out. Here's a cover. At a count of 2. Interesting to know, referee Brian Stifler in there as well. You got to keep an eye on Stifler.
Well, if the beautiful people aren't involved, there doesn't seem to be any kind of issues as Brittany hits the suplex, rolls over, and tries to get the cover, but can't quite get the 3 count. You know, in terms of the knockouts, as of late, big news with the return of Taryn Terrell to the TNA roster after like a 1-year absence. Great to have her back on board. As Brittany going to go one more time for the pin.
Certainly, we'd like to pass along all of our fans in the United Kingdom. Big event coming on, the London Comic-Con. Going to be a lot of the TNA stars out there. Some big announcements. You want to make sure and go on to ImpactWrestling.com regarding this huge event and some big things happening in the UK. Always a lot going on in the United Kingdom. Always a lot going on with Madison Rayne. Here's a roll-up cover. 1, 2. Almost had Brittany. Surprised her in the corner, and Brittany answers with just a rough kick to the midsection and a headbutt.
Yeah, it was nice timing by Madison Rayne to try and get the pin out of the corner. Now Brittany goes handspring elbow, and with full force. That one caught Madison right on the jaw.
It really did. And, you know, while that move, whoa, she got into the corner, and that time Madison had it scouted. But that momentum Brittany has when she comes in with that handspring. Wow, great effort by Madison Rayne. And one spectacular move from Brittany. Both ladies are down. That momentum when she comes in with that handspring elbow, so much more momentum gained from that handspring. That's what a lot of people don't realize. The move, sure, it's flashy, sure, it's exciting to watch, but you gain so much more momentum going into the corner when you're able to do something like that. And Brittany has used that to a lot of success.
And we saw that explosive answer from Madison with the clothesline. And now, again, Madison Rayne has turned this in her favor.
Wow, there's that kick. We have seen that from her before, and she sizes it up perfectly. Look at this. Just about had Brittany where she wanted. Now a side Russian leg sweep that takes down the 6-time Knockouts champion. Brittany needs to capitalize at this stage of the game.
Watch the momentum. You talked about that extra momentum that she gets coming off the ropes with a move just like that. But Madison, able to avoid her, and then comes right back and drops her with the spear.
2, and she got it.
Your winner, Madison Rayne.
High-risk move attempted by Brittany did not connect. And Madison Rayne answers with a spear, a pin, and a win. Congratulations, Madison Rayne, victorious this week on TNA Xplosion.